So definitely needing some work. Guys have made huge progress here. The end is in sight. Take a good look. It won't be this empty again until my estate sale. I have bought the property, and this is what it is. So I kind of added up the value of what was here when I was in the decision-making process on this place, and there's a lot of concrete out here. The utilities are already run. There's a sewer lagoon. I mean, the concrete's not great, but it's way better than the alternative of this being a giant mud hole out here. Got the big shop building, and it does need some work, but pretty much the value of all of the structures in the concrete by themselves, I don't think a guy could have built and put these on here for what we bought the whole place for. So definitely needing some work in the inside. If a guy really was going to work out of here, all that insulation would need to be redone. But it's a good steel building. Grab your saw. Nope. All right. Well, I've signed with the general contractor, paid them half down, and this remodel's just about to get real. This old office is dead, falling apart, had pack rats behind it, cat pee inside, so it's all getting torn down. Need to have it out of the way for the skin to come off the building, all the insulation to come out. Joe's on his way with the skid loader, and we're gonna tear this apart. One last look inside. It's kind of probably hard for you guys to see on camera, but this thing's really in bad shape. When they moved stuff around in the building, they backed into it and punched holes in it. It just has got to go. When we bought this place, the roof was leaking. So you can see that water pools in the insulation, ruins it. all those years of pine needles falling against the building. You can see rotted the bottom skin and even rotted the anchor point where that tin mounts. So there's no way this was going to be weather tight, rodent tight. You can see half a century of age and decay and rust, but we're gonna get that all renewed here pretty quick. We pulled a couple of the panels down inside, and Joe, having a great construction background, he could see how that was put together, and he identified a couple of the points that if he cut them free, he figures he can pretty much get the thing to fall apart. So we'll see if he's right. Success! Big day's finally here. Crew showed up, and it's going to be more of out with the old to make some room in for the new. As you can imagine, the insulation made a huge mess. The inside fiberglass layers and the plastic backing shredded apart all over the place, and I spent a lot of hours collecting it in the truck. Day 3. I showed up to the site every day that the workers were there, and I worked just as hard as they did, cleaning things up, scraping the floor. The back of the building had a couple sliding doors that were not windproof, they were not rodent-proof, they really were just an annoyance. So these guys are framing in for the garage door to seal it up. The skin is all done, the new doors are being hung, and you can see this building's really starting to look different. All this work is definitely not cheap. I actually paid more to remodel this building than I did for the ground. Guys have made huge progress here. The end is in sight. Take a good look. It won't be this empty again until my estate sale. Insulation is not cheap. The spray foam here was $20,000 by itself. If you're gonna work out of a building like this, it's just gotta be something you have. Otherwise, in the summer, it'll be like an oven in here, and in the winter, it'll never warm up. There's a lot of debate about spray foam versus conventional, and spray foam is very good as long as you have it on the surface of the metal. You can't have any gaps between, because that's where you get condensation. So these guys are doing it right, stuck down to the metal. This is going to be a really good, usable workspace. Night and day difference having one insulated versus having it just bare shell. So here we are about 11 months later. You can tell I haven't crammed it completely full. We did move a few things out of another storage that got crashed here for the moment. Any of you guys that are local, if you have any interest in some 1940s sofas and chairs, I would love to give any of these away to a good home. So I'll put my email down in the description box. Got a place for the 80 LeSabre to be tucked in nice and safe. If you're watching this, you can maybe guess what the next video will be about. This is just a teaser. Something I've wanted for a while and finally had one show up here. Thank everybody for hanging in there on these last I bought a Junkyard videos. Since the 337 ton video, I think I've hauled maybe another 10 or 12 tons. I promised you guys I'd show some more footage of these box cars, and so you're seeing that now. Santa Fe all the way. You can see where the top is kind of pinched to a peak on that one and dented. So presumably these were from a train derailment. This is a lot of Rudy's old inventory that's in here that I don't really know what to do with. Stuff that's too good to throw away, but not really something I'd list on eBay and may or may not ever even use myself. So it just sits. A few other little trash piles left to go. Here's the other one. This one was Grand Canyon painted on it. These things are a bit of a sore point. There's really nothing good about them in my opinion, except that they're just here. They take up space and can't really get rid of them. They are historically unique, so I wouldn't get rid of them anyway. This awning never really dries out under here. You can see this rock we put down is just wet and stays wet. Building's 40 by 48, so that's 1,900 square feet of water runoff that really has no place to go except back between the box cars. So it just never ever dries out back there. For now, this video's a bookend of the series on the little yard property here. It is just under 11 acres. See a few more piles. I think I'll probably have some dumpsters just placed at the end of these camper piles, shove them in. You can see the property's really come around. During this whole cleanup was probably one of the lowest points in my life personally, and so after that I have found restoration, things have gotten better, and I can remember at some of those lowest times I just come out here and the only mental capacity I had was just to get out with a trash can, pick up anything I didn't want to hit with a mower. My neighbor gave me this boat trailer, and it's worked really, really well for getting these boats and pieces of boats hauled off. They all have tie-off points for the docks, so I just lift them up with the skid loader, back the trailer under, shove them on, and away they go off to construction and demolition debris mountain. The old dump truck is happy as a clam. Joe's helped me totally rebuild the brakes on it. A friend of mine that's a carburetor specialist helped me do the carb on it. Got it back looking like brand new, running flawlessly. So if anybody's around in the south central Kansas area and needs a really good carb guy, just reach out to me there in the email. This truck's been hauling a lot of loads when the yard's dry enough to do so, which this year has not been very often. Even so, despite the weather, there has been steady progress out here, such that you can actually look at it and see, which is a really good feeling to be bringing this property back. So as I've promised you guys, this is not going to be the I Bought a Junkyard channel. So these last few little tidbits here just show what's happened with the property. And my dad has offered to sponsor me for one more structure on the property, which is very gracious of him. So I'll be definitely taking him up on that. And later on, we'll have an update for what else gets put on this property. Till then, we'll be back to regularly scheduled car programming, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.